contest set for 3 by 1.5. From the Bondi Beach Gym in Bondi, it's Richie Lizkam. Lizkam going up against Melbourne's own Mark Mullan. Super welterweight should be another cracker, brought to you by Tarak Solar. Sounds of Crooklyn Clan. Here comes the man, Mark Mullan, trained by the Silver Fox himself, Paul Fifield. Out of the Underworld Gym in Melbourne, Mark Mullan making his debut in Sydney, and he's set to take on Richie Lizkam over 3 1.5-minute rounds. Hammer, it's always good to hear a bit of the old Crooklyn Clan rocking the house.
An interstate super welterweight contest. Once again, we're scheduled for 3 1.5-minute rounds. Introducing first and fighting out of the blue corner, the local boy. He's fighting out of Bondi Beach. At local Bondi, make welcome Richie Lizkam. Travelling up the highway, this young man is based in Melbourne, Victoria, trained by one of the legends, the Silver Fox, Paul Fifield. Make welcome Mark Mullan.
Okay, we are ready for the last minute instructions. It will be Mullan out of the red corner, trained by Paul Fifield, who we will see in the corner of Gurkhan Ozkan later on in our main event against Adam Watt and Richie Lizkam. Let's listen in.
Your trainers have told you all the rules. Have you got any questions? Okay. If you hear the word break, I want you to stop what you're doing and stand back. Is that understood? Okay, you can touch gloves now and then come out fighting.
It's like a minister giving a wedding service, Hammer. We are ready to go in the first round.
No one rushes our centre referee. No one.
No one at all. Mark Mullan from the Underworld Gym out of the red corner, and Richie Lizkam out of the blue corner. Super welterweight contest. Good evening to Paul Fifield in the corner with Mark Mullan, and we are set to go. First of 3.5. Bondi Beach versus Melbourne, and here we go. Mark Mullan, the shorter of the two, maybe a little bit leaner in centering here than Richie Lizkam. And look out for the very solid technique on Mullan, who's opted for the two-tone or different coloured shin and instep protectors here, Hammer.
Maybe just a shortage of instep protectors, or maybe one's inside out. Who knows?
Maybe he's just colourblind and couldn't tell the difference. Either way, maybe just setting a trend as Richie Lizkam takes a little bit of a tumble backwards here in the first round. Good solid start this from Mark Mullan so far.
Well, you expect nothing less from a fighter prepared by Paul Fifield, the Fox. They always come in 110%. When they're under the auspices of Paul Fifield.
Oh, big left hand to the side of the jaw there from Mark Mullan, who's opened up like a house on fire. Tagging right hand and another one. Richie Lizkam in all sorts of bother now. Over in the neutral corner, Lizkam just dancing back.
Lizkam really should have almost got a count there. Michael, after that big right hand, he was in a real bit of bother.
Mullan all over him. Lizkam again taking a lot of punishment here in the first round. He's taken more shots than the Hammer during happy hour.
I'm telling you what, Michael, Lizkam is in a lot of trouble, and you really should be getting an 8 count.
Mark Mullan, the Demon supporter, wearing those trunks of the Melbourne Demons Football Club. Step up right hand there from Lizkam, and Mullan again doing the damage. Should have been 2 or 3 counts put on him by now, Hammer. Here's the first one of the round, and it's come 1 minute 20 down.
4, 5.
It has been all Mark Mullan, who
7.
is one of the sparring partners of Gurkhan Ozkan down there at the Underworld Gym in Flinders Street, Melbourne, Banana Alley. And into the first round, Hammer, and it is all the way of the Melbourne boy.
Well, the fiery Mark Mullan, he is absolutely explosive, putting it all together very, very well indeed. His hands are right on the money, his legs are working well, and it's all his way at this point. As I said, Richie Lizkam totally beyond me how he didn't receive at least a couple of 8 counts in that one. Once again, there's the big right hand. Mullan right on the money, moving up, bang, again with the right hand. He was all over Lizkam, and really had his range switched all the way on. Mullan, the Melbourne boy, was working all sorts of range, high, low. Underneath he was kicking, uppercut coming in tight there on Lizkam, and there's the kick to finish. Once again, tidy right hand, just catching Lizkam. He's chasing right after him, Mullan.
Seconds down.
Here we go, second round of action. We are set for 3 by 1.5. Super welterweight contest. It's been all one-way traffic so far, and that's been the direction of the red corner, Mark Mullan from Melbourne. Richie Lizkam taking more battering than a piece of flake early on. Here we go in the second. Outside thigh kick from Mullan. Another outside thigh kick to that lead thigh, that reddened left thigh of Richie Lizkam, and tags him with a beautiful left hook. Mullan again on the offensive early on, and Lizkam getting caught with all sorts of leather. Inside thigh kick from Lizkam. He has really been overwhelmed by the ferocious punching power of Mark Mullan so far in this fight. All tied up in front of our commentary position. Referee separates both men. Mullan, a quick look to his corner.
Tell you what, the boy from Bondi is really weathering the storm. But Mullan is besieging on him.
Besieging?
Besieging on him. He's putting it on him. I want to do that to you in just a moment. Just get
Hammer
used to
making
it.
up words. It's the Oxford Castellini Dictionary.
I've learnt it from you.
The walking thesaurus. Second round of action. We're 50 seconds down. It's been all Mark Mullan, folks, if you just joined us. Our first interstate contest of the night. And going the way of the Victorian boy out of the red corner. Beautiful front kick to the midsection, sends him back. Slingshot effect propelling Richie Lizkam off the ropes, and Lizkam falls down to his knees, and he will get a count for that one. He has sapped of breath and energy. And Richie Lizkam, Hammer, you feel, just doesn't know what to do. And Mark Mullan's so relaxed over in the neutral corner at the moment.
Tell you what, Mullan is all over. Lizkam is just totally dominating this one.
Oh, the big jaw cracker sends him back 5 steps, and Richie Lizkam sat back on his backside.
Packing into the blue corner, Lizkam. And really, you'd almost consider stopping this one.
Hammer, Mark Mullan, a super welterweight. Where have you been?
Well, certainly a novice fighter, and a novice fighter with a lot of potential against a fairly nonplussed Richie Lizkam. Lizkam from Bondi, probably taking this fight on short notice, but Mullan looks very, very well prepared. You can see by the shape that the young lad's in, that he's certainly done his homework and done his hours in the gym. And as I said, prepared by Paul Fifield, you expect nothing less than the boys from the Underworld gym.
Jump up, you're strong.
We are ready to rock and roll. Third and final round of action. It has been 10-8, 10-8 on our unofficial scorecard, of course, for Mark Mullan. And poor old Richie Lizkam, who was a bit slow emerging from his corner. And I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't even want to come out for the third round, Hammer.
To the centre.
But he is a brave customer, of course, in his hometown. He is from Bondi Beach, Richie Lizkam. They touch gloves, and we are underway. 90 seconds remaining.
Well, great fighting spirit there from Richie Lizkam. He keeps coming back. He's been hit with some absolutely huge shots, but he keeps fighting on. And it's a credit to the Bondi boy, Richie Lizkam. But Mark Mullan just totally outclassing him into the third round.
Solid crowd building up here at the Sydney Town Hall. Folks, do stay with us. We've got Frank Zammit and Stanley Nandex coming up later tonight. Also Greg Foley and the big one, Gurkhan Ozkan, up against Adam Watt in the craziest matchup of the year. But right now, going crazy in centre ring, Mark Mullan doing an absolute number on Richie Lizkam. And again, another convincing round thus far for Mark Mullan as we go to 45 seconds. Halfway through the round, big leg kick upending Lizkam on that occasion.
Give me guard.
And doesn't he look a sore and sorry and battered soul, Hammer, but he is still there for the ride, Richie Lizkam, and full credit to him.
Well, he's still fighting on. I tell you what, unless the fighter would have dropped by now under the onslaught that Mullan is throwing down.
Break. Step back. Come on, guys.
All men tied up in centre ring into the final round. Overhand right there from Mark Mullan, and Lizkam holding on to him now. He hasn't got much left in the tank, Hammer, in this professional welterweight contest.
Well, the very brave front putting up by Lizkam. He just wants to last the distance, you can tell. But it's Mullan dominating all the way. He's getting sucked in now to the holding on tactic.
And there it is, folks, into the third and final round. And Hammer, what can you say? But Mark Mullan, a young man who we hope to see a lot more of.
Well, certainly Mark Mullan, a very promising prospect from the Underworld gym. And Paul Fifield in the corner there would have to be very, very proud indeed of his young charge, Mark Mullan.
Once again, we go to the judges' scorecard. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous winner. That man from the red corner, Mark Mullan.